Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna. This is Coffee, Books, and Bullet Journals, and today I'm going to talk about my TBR for the ReReadathon. Alright guys, so the ReReadathon takes place March 10th through the 16th, which I know is only a couple of days away. It starts this Sunday, so if you're not paying attention, it starts very soon. And this is just a week of being able to reread some of your favorite books. And I'm excited about it because I don't get a chance to reread books. I feel like I have so many books on my shelves that I need to read that I shouldn't be prioritizing rereading some of these books. But they're books I love, and so I'm so excited to revisit some of these things. Some of them I haven't read in like 10 plus years. I mean, there's some books on here that like I loved as a kid in middle school, but I haven't read since then, so I'm excited about it. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so there are 7 challenges that you can participate in if you would like to. You by no means have to do these challenges. You don't have to do, you can double up, triple up, whatever your heart desires. Go for it. This is a very chill readathon. And oh, I forgot to tell you. So this is hosted by Murphy Napier, that's who created this. And there are daily hosts on YouTube who will also be doing stuff on Twitter, Instagram, and book blogs. So there are 21 hosts for this ReReadathon, and I am one of them. So I'm actually going to be an Instagram host, and my host today will be Thursday, which is the 14th, and I will link my Instagram handle down below, and you should definitely check it out and follow me there, because I will be doing a giveaway on Thursday, and you don't want to miss that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and I already said that, but let's talk about this. So 7 challenges. I'm going to be doubling up on a few of them. I'm going to be reading 5 books. So we'll just see how that works. You know, some of them are very short, so I think we'll be okay. So the challenges are to give a book a second chance. So maybe one that you didn't like quite a whole lot. I'll talk about what I'm doing for that one here in a minute. The next one is a recent favorite. The third challenge is an old favorite. The next one is a game-changing book, an unpopular book or an underrated book, a childhood favorite, which is perfect, and then the last one is to read a popular favorite or a popular book that you love. So, like I said, I'm going to be reading 5, and I will just go ahead and tell you what books I'm going to be reading and what challenges they meet for that. So the first book that I am going to be reading is going to be Autobiography by Christina Lauren. So this book I read back in June of last year, and I originally gave it a 4-star. I didn't necessarily love it. Well, I loved it, but there were things in it that kind of drew me out of the story because I live in Salt Lake, and so there were some things in here that I didn't think were necessarily accurate. But going back and thinking about it, it's not this one not big of a deal. Really shouldn't be a 4-star book. So I ended up bumping it up to a 5-star book by the end of the year. I changed my rating on Goodreads. But I want to reread it and see if that holds up, because a lot of people read this during Contemporary-a-thon, and I was watching all the vlogs and the wrap-ups, and they were just saying this is the best YA book there is, and so it spurred my desire to want to read it again. And so I'm definitely going to be reading this one, and I'm excited about it. So this one's going to be the challenge for to give a book a second chance, and I get kind of a recent favorite, sort of, because I feel like it's going to be another, it's going to be a favorite of mine after this. So when I read it, I had actually moved. This was like during that time that I was down in Colorado, and so I don't know, like being back in Salt Lake and renewing my love of Salt Lake and the mountains and just everything that Utah has to offer. I think that I'm gonna really love this one, maybe even more. So I'm excited. All right, so those are the first 2 challenges. The next one is to read a book that's an old favorite, and I am going to be reading, and you've probably never heard of this book before, and if you have, like, let me know, because this was a book that like was very popular among like the homeschool community that I was part of when I was in middle school and high school, but outside of that, never heard of it, and that is Elsie Dinsmore by Martha Finley. This is a historical fiction young adult novel about this girl who grew up, like, it's like pre-Civil War era, and there's like 20 books in this series, I think. I don't really know, but I remember at least reading like up through book 8, and I would reread them as a kid. Like, I would get to the end of, like, I think I owned the first 8, and so I would get to the end, I would get to book 8, and then I would just start over and do it again, and then go back and do it again. And I know that there are, like, as an adult, I'm probably going to have some problems with this book, because it's, you know, young adult. I've read some of the reviews that Goodreads has, and they don't really love it, so I'm curious to see if the nostalgia factor of it will be able to play into it, and I'll be able to still enjoy it, even though that, like, technically it's not a great book. All right, the next book I have physically, but it's loaned out to a friend right now, so I don't have the book, but that's okay because I'm going to be listening to this one on audio. I've heard that the audiobook is great, and this is going to meet 2 challenges. It's going to meet the challenge for a popular book and a game-changing book, and that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. As you know, this was my favorite book of 2018. I loved this book so much with all of my heart and soul, and I am very excited to revisit Evelyn Hugo. I'm actually reading Daisy Jones and the Six right now, and I'm excited to kind of just jump from that back to Evelyn. I'm really excited about that. So, and I'm going to be listening to it on audio if I can find it. I think it's on Scribd. Yeah, I'm so excited to read that book again. The next one is to read an unpopular book or an underrated book, and I'm going to be reading my second favorite book of 2018. I'm gonna drop them all in my stack, and that is Until the Last Star Fades by Jacqueline Middleton. This one, like, Evelyn Hugo and this book, this was like 1 and 2, and they could have been a coin flip. I love both of these books with my whole heart and soul. I love Jacqueline Middleton with every fiber of my being. She's an amazing person, and Jacqueline Middleton writes beautiful, beautiful characters that struggle with so many different things. And even though this is a romance book, first off, it's a 500-page book, but it's not a drawn-out book. It's not something that I feel like needed to be shorter or could have been shorter. I loved every moment of being in this book, and I think last time this book gave me book hangover. So we'll see if that happens again. I'm gonna cry again. Knowing how it ends, I may not. I don't know. We'll see. But I am so excited. This book deals heavily with mental health. Riley has smiling depression and anxiety, and like, I remember reading this the first time and thinking, like, some of these scenes and some of the thoughts that are in Riley's head, like, literally were taken out of my brain. Like, possibly she is a mind reader. So, yeah. I think I've said I'm really excited to read this like 20 times already, but I'm really excited to read this. So, yeah. All right, and then the last prompt that I haven't covered is a childhood favorite, and I know that most people are probably going to pick Harry Potter, but as you know, I have not read all of Harry Potter, so obviously that was not a childhood favorite, so I had to kind of go in a different direction. And if you saw in I don't remember if it was my last book haul or the one before, but I'll link it up in the cards. It's that one. Those cards? I don't remember. One of those up there. I've picked up some of the Dear America books, and I'm going to read Voyage on the Great Titanic. I don't know who the author is because they don't ever say like who the author is on this. It's one of like the Scholastic books, and this is all done in diary format. See, it's like like it's like a journal. It's this girl's journal and she went on the Titanic, and so obviously like it's fiction. Like she didn't actually, like this girl, or Margaret Ann Brady, did not actually go on the Titanic. This is fiction. But I remember loving all of these so much as a kid. I remember going to the library and like if they had a new one, I was the first one to check it out. If they didn't have a new one, I checked out the ones I'd already read. So I have 3 of them. I have the Pilgrim one, I have the Slave Girl, like Civil War era, and then I have this one. And I think of those 3, this one was my favorite as a kid. And so I'm excited to pick this one up again. I think I've said that enough times, but we shall see. Plus, it's great for a readathon because it's like 160 pages and it's middle grade, so it's like large font, very large font. But so it's perfect since I don't have a graphic novel or anything like that in this TBR. I figured that reading something like middle grade, plus it's March, it's middle grade March, so yeah, I thought maybe it would be good to kind of pick that up. And who knows, if I finish that one and when I finish everything else, I might pick up some of the other ones as well, because like I said, I have 3 of them. So alright guys, so that is my TBR for the ReReadathon, and happening March 10th through the 16th. Let me know if you are joining in on this readathon and what you will be reading. If you have a TBR, you can link it down below and I would love to watch it. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram so that you can be aware of the giveaway. Like I said, we have a giveaway every single day on every single platform. So there are a lot of giveaways. You should be following everybody's Instagram, blog, Twitter, YouTube, everything. You should just follow them all. I will link Murphy's announcement in the description below because she has all of the host and their handles and things like that, so that way you can follow everybody's. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button that you can do so down below the video, and all of the links to my social medias are in the description below if you would like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.